everyone, it's Lori. Welcome back to Pizzazz Studios. Today I'm painting one of my abstract flower paintings, and as you can see, I'm showing you what I'm using. I'm using my 100-pound Bristol paper, and it's the 11 by 14 size. And I'm going to start by just taping it down to my table here, and I have a mat underneath it. Just sort of helps me with the mess. If anything comes off the paper, I don't want the paint all over my table, so I put a mat down and then I taped my paper to that. And I'm applying a nice coat of gesso here to cover the entire piece with that. So I will finish that and then I will get into the painting portion of it. Now the gesso has been applied and it's all dried. You want to make sure that it's fully, completely dried before you move on to painting. That's an important thing to know. And I do apply a little bit of heat sometimes to get the process going a little bit quicker with my blow dryer. So I just mixed up some paint here. I believe this is like an aqua green and a bright, like a neon yellow mixed together. And I'm doing a background here, just throwing down some paint to put some color on the paper here. At this part, it doesn't really matter what kind of brush you use. I'm using just a flat brush right here. This is just a background, so I'm not looking for perfection here. So I'm just looking to lay down some paint. And now I'm showing you my Liquitex paint. It's cerulean blue hue and my white gesso again. And I'm going to mix these two together and then I'm going to apply it to the paper. And so now I'm sort of loosening up here as I start painting, and I'm using the end of my paintbrush to use as a mark making tool. So I'm adding some marks into my painting here as well. And as I'm working on this painting, the paint is drying a little bit, so I just spritzed it with a little bit of water there to loosen it back up and get it flowing again a little bit more so I could keep spreading it out. And because I'm not always the most patient woman in the world, I am using my blow dryer, and it also helps with shortening the length of the video for you guys. So I am speeding up the drying process here so we can move forward with the painting. And now in some of these lighter areas, I'm applying more of this green. It's a very vibrant green and I want it to pop a little bit more. So I'm adding some more green here to where it's a little bit, as you can see, it's a lighter area. There's more white showing through from underneath. Well, apparently I wanted a lot more green because I keep adding and adding. Well, in a moment here, I think I'm going to probably make some more marks here in my paint. But this is turning out nice. I like these two colors together. Actually, there's three colors, I guess. There's the aqua green, the yellow mixed in with it, and then we have the cerulean blue. obviously now I'm using my blow dryer again, and I'm lightly touching the paint to make sure it's dry enough in some areas. And now I'm using that neon yellow again and applying a bit of that on top of that green. I guess it probably wasn't bright enough to my liking, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more yellow here. Why not, right? Because I can, and it's me being me. So I'm going to add some of that, and then let's see what we do next, because I recorded this quite a while ago, probably a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm looking back at it, and it's like I'm watching it for the first time because I don't remember what I did next. So I'm kind of watching it along with you for the first time. Okay, so I'm done with the hair dryer, the blow dryer, whatever you prefer to call it. And now, I'm using my Artist Loft paint. And this is light blue. And it looks like I grabbed my palette knife and I'm applying the light blue with the palette knife. I kind of surprised myself there. I thought I'd continue to use a brush, but apparently I wanted to use a palette knife, so here we go. So at this point, I think I was thinking to myself that I didn't really like the blotchy look of the palette knife, so I decided to take a brush and blend this in a little bit more, make it look more blended with the other colors underneath. And here I'm making more marks using my catalyst wedge and a scraper, and I'm not sure I even kept these marks in the painting. I may have went over them, or I might have saved some of it. Sometimes I like to do that too. I'll add a bunch of marks, and then I'll go over with it with some paint and to sort of remove some of them. So sometimes there's just too many for my liking. It all depends on how I'm feeling, what I want to go for, that kind of thing. So now I'm using a scraper here, and I'm just making some marks in the painting. I dried that again with the blow dryer, and now, like I was saying, I do like to go over some of the marks with some paint, and that is exactly what I'm doing here. But I think I'm using the light blue here with the brush, just going over some of the areas that I made marks. Now, in order to tone this down a little bit, what I did is I grabbed another blue, and I have light blue permanent, and this is the color that I'm putting down here now. Now we're back with the blow dryer, and I'm blowing that layer of paint dry here, and my mat is moving around a lot here on me today. And now I'm going over the paper, making sure it's dry enough so I can move forward. And sometimes what happens when you use these art papers, they do tend to buckle up a little bit there because of the moisture from the paint and water and everything that you use. But I don't always tape it down, but in this case I did. And it'll flatten out as it dries, and if it doesn't, you can just simply lay something heavy on it overnight or something, and it flattens right out for you. And this is just a little close-up for you before I move on to the flowers. So this is the background. Oh, I love this pink. It is so pretty. So pretty. I think it's a combination of a couple colors here. I'm not sure what they are, so unfortunately I cannot share them with you. My apologies. But we're starting the flowers here. I started this one up in this corner. I feel like it's a little bit large. I kind of should have made this one a little bit smaller looking back at it, but I still love the results of the painting. I think it came out beautiful, and if I did it again, I would make this one a bit smaller because it left me a little bit of room to do the rest of them, and I wished I'd had a little bit more room there to do the other two flowers that I'm about to paint. But that's okay. That's how we learn, right? And since I'm painting abstract flowers, I'm not looking for, perfect form with these flowers. It's, like I said, abstract. So I'm looking for more the shape and texture, different layers in the paint. I have dark pink there, some lighter pink. I probably have this mixed with gesso. There's a little bit of white in there. I can see it. So I like that about it. I like the marks underneath that come through. It looks really pretty.
This love of mine, come sing with me now, baby.
So as you can see, I have the second flower done, and now I'm working on the third one. And with the room that I left myself, I had to put this one sort of off the page, which is pretty cool. But like I said, I wished I'd had a little more room for these other two flowers down here, but it's all good. Sometimes that happens. I'm a very intuitive painter, and I don't always plan out my paintings and think ahead. I sort of go with the flow in the moment, and sometimes this happens, But like I said, I do love the results of the painting. I think it turned out really pretty. I love the colors and the marks in it. I don't know, it's just really pretty, and in person it's even prettier because these videos don't do justice to these colors. But I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I'm going to use my hair dryer here again and dry this a bit. And please hit the like button and subscribe, and do hit that bell notification button as well if you're enjoying the video. That way you get notified when I upload more videos. And I do have over 100 videos here, probably close to maybe 130. I got to go back and look. I don't remember. But I have a lot of videos if you're interested. I do have some fluid art videos. I have mixed media videos, just these acrylic painting videos. So I will do a lot more mixed media videos coming up in the future here. So please do subscribe. I hope you're enjoying it. Stay tuned for the rest of the painting here as we move forward. And if there's anything that you'd like to see on my channel in any upcoming videos, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames.
And we're back to using the blow dryer again. I'm trying to dry this layer here a little bit quicker. And parts of it, I'm taking some of the paint off with my finger where it's really wet. And it actually makes a cool effect because it leaves like, sort of like another mark or a lighter layer there in that area. So that's what I'm doing in a couple spots there, removing a little bit of the paint there and just wiping it on my mat. That's another reason why I like to use a mat under my paintings. I have something to wipe my hands on. A lot of times I will use a rag, but this is a lot easier. So let's just finish with the blow dryer here and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so now we're moving on here. I'm using my gesso and a makeup sponge or a cosmetic wedge, if you will, and my script stencil. So I'm going to apply this to the painting here and you'll see how I do that. I just simply dab my wedge into the gesso and then I apply it by dabbing it over the stencil onto the painting. So pretty, so pretty, so pretty. I am loving this. Love, love, love this stencil. And so I'm going to go ahead and apply this the same way throughout the painting, just in different areas. And you can tape you can tape down your stencil if you feel it's moving around too much for you. But I planned on stenciling in different areas, not just in one spot. So I found that would be a nuisance. So I was just trying to hold it down with my other hand there, as you can see as I go along. So it turned out very, very nice. I absolutely love it. So I will speed this part of the video up just to get through this part, and I'll show you how it turns out here in a moment. Alright, so the stenciling is now completed and I'm applying the heat here again just to dry that. It dries very quick because it's a thin layer of gesso. And now to get into the mixed media part of this painting, I'm actually grabbing my gelatos. These are by Faber-Castell. They're gelatos. They come in all sorts of colors. And I'm going to go ahead and add some color to my flowers here using these. A lot of times, typically what I'll do is I'll apply the gelato to the painting, and I'm using my hand here, my fingers, just to blend it into the acrylic paint, and it just blends in so smoothly. It's creamy and buttery. It's really awesome. I love these things. They're amazing. So I continue on doing this for a while. I do add more color after this one, but for now I'm going to speed this part of the video up. I'm simply applying this gelato here and blending it and just keep applying it in different layers and blending different areas and things like that until I like it. So I'm done with that color. Now I'm grabbing myself a peach gelato and I'm going to do the same process with this color like I did with the last one. the gelatos for now, and it looks like here I'm grabbing my little paintbrush and I put some more pink acrylic paint here on it, and I'm adding to the flower here in the lower corner. Okay, so it looks like I continue to add more pink to these other flowers as well. So I think what I'm doing here is the way the gelato is blended, it was a little too orangey in some areas. So I think I'm adding in some more pink here to bring back a little bit of the pink. So after applying the paint, I did want to make sure it was nice and dry again before I move on with my gelatos. And now I'm grabbing this beautiful pink one, and I'm going to use this in the same manner I used the other two. And just when you thought I was done, nope, layers, layers, and more layers. So now this is a white gelato, and I'll be applying this the same way as the other ones. Now with the white, I'm also looking for an effect to sort of like be an outline for the petals, so I'm not just blending it into all the other colors. I'm doing sort of like an outline effect here, and I'm smudging it and blending it, and also using my rag here. I probably decided I had too many other colors already on my fingers and it wasn't blending well. So I'm using my rag here just to smooth out the white. So I am done with my gelatos. Well, for now, I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to them or not. But at this point, what I'm doing here is I'm taking that aqua green paint that I started with in the beginning of the video, and I'm just using my finger as a paintbrush. I do that quite often, actually. I enjoy it, and it's part of my process, and I love doing that. And what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little pop of green around the petals here. It sort of acts as like a highlight, makes the petals pop a little bit more. And I just like the way it's looking here. So I'm going to go around each petal and add a little bit around each one in between. And we will see what we do next here. I don't recall what comes next. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close to the end here. We shall see.
I would never ask you to give up things. I just wanna give you all I can. There's something but you, baby, and I can't get enough. There's something that you give me and I can't get enough.
Alright, so I went ahead and finished up with the aqua green paint there, applied some more heat, dried that. Now it looks like I'm going over the white here. I'm blending it in a little bit more. I think I was liking the way it looked, but it stood out a little bit much, so I'm blending it in just a little bit with my finger here, and I think I'm just about done. I know I already said that, but I did not look ahead on the video, so I can't tell how much more is to go here, but I'm pretty sure I'm just about done. And really quick, I did grab a light purple gelato, and I'm adding some highlights here in the center of my flower. This is a really pretty gelato. It's very, it's not really shimmery, but it's iridescent, and it's really beautiful. It adds a nice highlight to my flowers.
You show me the ropes, I hold you tightly. Never let you go or let you down. There's nothing but you, baby, and I can't get enough.
And I'm adding some more highlights just around the entire flowers here. It looks like I probably, sometimes I just don't know when to stop. I was having so much fun. I just wanted to keep going. But no, I did add a little bit more of the iridescence to it, and I think a lighter pink as well throughout it, just to make it more cohesive, because I didn't need that color just in the centers of the flowers. I wanted to pull it all together, so I add a little bit to the petals as well. Oh, now it looks like I grabbed my white again and doing a once over again on the outline of the petals. Okay, this has to be the end of the video. So at this point, I've grabbed some white gesso and a small brush, and I'm just adding some dots to the center of my flowers here. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for sticking to the end. This was so much fun to do. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment for me. I would love to hear from you. And hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll be back soon with another fun video for us. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the close-up, and I'll show you the final results.